Hello, everyone. Nubkeks here. Welcome back to Nub Raids. I hit Live Arena Gold 4 recently, and let's be honest, it's pretty tricky. So I said, let's go on an expert, someone who has tons of experience fighting at the top end of Live Arena. So we've got Grim Reaper. Welcome to the channel. It's our first collab. How are you doing?
Hello, welcome. Welcome. Thank you for having me, Nubs. I appreciate the
Hmm.
message, and yes, I'm really looking forward to doing this.
Cool. I've got minding my sister's dog while she's away. They're on a little holiday before Christmas. Hopefully, he's not going to bark and ruin the video. He's a bit of a barker. But
That's
so
fine.
yeah, for anyone who hasn't seen your channel yet, you're uploading live arena videos, usually in Gold 4. You play multiple different accounts at times as
Yeah,
well. And you're putting up videos near almost every day, I think, live
yeah,
arena, right? Yeah.
yeah. I put up about probably minimum 5 videos a week,
Yeah.
and I actually play multiple accounts. So yeah, I play a little bit of silver. I play a little bit in gold, a gold one, and then a lot of gold four, mainly gold four two accounts, which is including my main, which
Hmm.
is a gold four account as well. So it's been a lot of fun and sometimes frustration at times,
Yeah.
but it's a lot of fun.
Hmm.
So
Cool. Well, we know for a fact that there's seasons coming for Live Arena. I mean, do you want to say
mm,
something quickly about that before we dive in? Anything you have on
oh,
your wish list for like what would do seasons, the perfect seasons for Live Arena look like you in a few words here?
well, I did a video with Kerslin and we spoke about something like this.
Hmm.
I think it has to have conditions, and they could do conditions for a lot of different ways. So I kind of would like to see maybe banning certain factions,
Ooh.
certain types of champions like mythicals or HP base. This could really like shake up the meta a little bit, and just kind of make it more fun and a bit more of a playing field for some
Hmm.
people. Maybe we'll start seeing epics come in like Fenix, etc., which would be pretty cool.
Yeah, I've run
Um,
into him a couple of times. People sometimes pick him, right? They usually
yeah.
lose, but they do try. Sometimes he can be very effective.
I faced one today actually. I actually
Nice.
faced one today on one of the accounts. Um, I think that would be really needed.
Mhm.
I still think there's a lot of work that needs to be done on live reader, let
Yeah.
alone that. But that's a different conversation for a different day, I think.
Yeah, for sure. Hey, maybe we can do that in another video. I'd be interested to
Mm,
hear your takes on it and what could change.
mm,
Um, all right, let's look at this though. So, looking at my roster, and you were mentioning that you're playing on multiple level accounts. I'm very curious to hear
hmm
like what strategies you think are like kind of maybe sleeper, underpowered, or underused, shall we say, in like silver, and stuff like that.
yeah,
I'd be curious what your take on that's going to
I
be.
actually, I
But
actually think Freya
okay.
is one of the champions that's underrated. I use
Mm,
her right now in one of the accounts, and they don't have many tummy to boost champions.
right. Yeah.
So she does have a 20% aura, 20% tummy to boost, which is massive, honestly,
Hmm.
and also block buffs. Can still get frozen by Tormino, so you need to be careful of that, but it just reduces the chances of that.
Hmm.
And obviously 20% is pretty big because there's a lot of champions that do 10%, it's just not enough.
Right. Yeah.
And most people don't see her as a tummy to boost champion, they see her as like a go second to anti-bombs or
Hmm.
to as a nuker like yourself as
Yeah.
well,
I've rebuilt.
especially when they pick up.
This is one thing I
Yeah.
was going to be asking. I've got her built as a nuker, but I mean, without a soul, especially, she's only okay. I was wondering,
Mm.
it's one of the questions I wanted to ask. Is it worth for me, you think, and we'll look at my roster, is it worth for me to rebuild her as an anti-bomb champ? How do you play? Let's talk about the bombs maybe first. It'd be a good topic. Or again, I could
Mm.
potentially build her as a speed booster. Um, it's something I'll
Yeah.
talk about as a limitation for me. Faction Guardians, that's rough when you get to go for
Mm.
being 10 speed behind on, like, for me, I don't like, I've got a Lady Kimmy, but I don't have the Faction Guardians done. And I've got Arbiter, but I don't have the Faction Guardians. Being 10 speed behind, that hurts, right?
Mm.
Um,
Yeah.
but let's talk about bombs first, and then we'll jump onto speed. Bombs very strong in the game right now. I think. I
Mm.
mean, would you agree? Sort of pinpoint really brought them back to the fore for high end live arena because polymorph is so prominent.
To yeah, I mean to be honest, I've always kind of used bombs for
Yeah.
like the last year before pinpoint,
Yep.
and it was just situational times where I'd use it. If there was too much sheep, it was just very frustrating.
Yes.
So pinpoint really did help. And I think that it's made it very strong. There is a lot of counters to bombs now in the arena, which is kind of died down. There was like 1 week where pretty much everyone was taking bombs, and now it's just quieted down now. And
Hmm.
like even myself, I just try and take one bomb champion. Taking two is too risky.
Right, right. Tell me about those
So
counters. What are the counters? I'm up against bombs. What champions or strategies do I bring in to stop bombs?
so one thing you can do is obviously a very fast CC,
Yep.
right, with block buffs. If you can get a like super fast.
Hmm.
And I
Hmm.
think one of your streams, you said you put her in protection and you slowed her down a little bit.
Yeah,
But
I think she's
when
in a
you're,
good build for my account. For she's in 6 speeds
yeah,
protection. She's 410 speed, so she's my fastest champion actually.
so I would say you need to get that up if you can, and if there is a can, then that's a way.
I've got the
Um,
stuff saved for the soul. She get 15 more speed, but yeah, that's as
yeah,
fast as I can go. If I need to be faster than that, I just can't. I'm just dead, right?
yeah.
What? So,
Obviously going faster as well
hmm.
helps bombs with lockout. Like Warlord, for example,
Yep.
or like
Yep.
Armads, if you can kind of knock that 2 meter back, because sometimes they're not in stone skin.
Yeah.
Hegemon
Hmm.
can be a rough one, especially like, when you're just looking at fights and you just think, I'm not going to win this.
Yeah.
Well, Hegemon is one of them champions. It's like I throw him in because I don't really have much of a chance. So what am I losing,
Cool.
right?
Okay. Okay. Tell me
So,
about Hedgie. How do
oh,
you? Because I know there's like the stun set crowd control way, or there's just raw damage. What do you think is more useful for players? Just try one shot.
right now, for when we're talking about bombs or
Hmm.
like faster speed teams,
Yeah.
it's nuke away.
Nuke.
You take
Okay.
him in a nuke spot, and then you can take more support around like your arbiter, etc.
Okay.
And that is the way that you go. You can even go like 6 piece merciless, 2 piece crawl, which is
Yeah.
ignoring 40% target defense.
Hmm.
Let's say you're
Hmm.
taking soul reap just in case he doesn't finish him off slightly. You
Interesting.
don't need him super fast. 'Cause you can only take one hedgie, and then
Yeah.
you just go full out. You just go full out damage really.
Okay. What
Whatever
what
accuracy you can get is a bonus.
what sort of speed would you say, like for an end game player like me, what would I be looking for? And then maybe what would a mid game player like silver level be like?
As a nuker, you don't really need any speed. Your
None,
job
just
is
none.
just to kill.
Okay,
Yeah, it's
cool.
just to
Just
kill.
pure damage, let the passive do the
Yeah,
work. Okay. I
yeah.
like it. All right, that's something I could totally change. Yeah,
Hmm.
Hedgie's sneaky.
Yeah.
You can't tell in the draft if they have stone skin, but yeah, I
That's
mean,
what I
as you
mean. You
said,
you kind of just drop them in the fights where
right,
like,
right.
and you can test out your hedgie, right? Like you can
Mhm.
take him into a classic arena, and you can test him against like a Frowny. For obviously, you're not going to kill a Sigford, right? Massive.
Yeah, yeah.
So there is like certain things that you can do to kind of do that, but Soul Reap can also ignore um Sigford's passive as well. So that's one worth to kind of point out. And champions like Sigford, Frowny,
Hmm.
Lazarius, if they're normally in stone skin, like them, the type of champions you just take Hedgie when you think, okay, I've lost this,
Hmm.
and you
Hmm.
throw them in the end, and then really you're trying to get them to bandit. If they don't
Yeah.
bandit, they're either low IQ or just they're in stone skin, right? Or they know they got like one or two key champions in it. So
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Hedgie's a
yeah.
problem for me, and
Hmm.
he's a problem for most people.
Okay, that's a
So
great tip because probably a lot of people do have Hegemon, and like when the meta was really very much about Stone Skin for a while and speed, it wasn't much of a thing. Hegemon
mm,
was that classic champion we would talk about in videos. I mean, let's be real, of really fallen off. Stone Skin counters him. People don't use him
yeah,
anymore, but now he's back, and probably a lot of people, as you said, probably aren't aware of how good he is again.
yeah.
Just from how the meta shifts and changes. Okay, so he might be in people's vaults, build them to nuke, and there you go. Could be a counter. Talk to me about what other counters. I've got a Mithrala. I think she's probably okay to counter bombs. Is that true? And any other
She's
champions as well?
she's okay against bombs.
Hmm.
Like when you're talking about like the legendary bombers like
Yeah, Thomas.
Nishak, etc. She's good.
Yeah,
But when you're handing Dark Smiles
I
with
just have to
increased
ban, dude.
accuracy,
There's no, Dark Smiles. I just have to ban that champ, man. Like he hard counter unless I'm definitely going faster in the draft. Like I've got
Yeah,
almost everyone in stone. Like I'm just gonna die, right? So
yeah,
he's pretty much a force ban, which is rough for me because yeah, I know you
the,
have him. I'm very jealous.
yeah. The trick with him is actually stack and bolster,
Yeah, right.
and
Okay,
then
okay.
he would just stun you. So
Yeah.
another thing you can do with bombs to counter them as well. Like normally it will take it like a bias
Mm-hmm.
or a Lady M. If you
Yeah.
know you've got high resistance builds, uh, you banned
Increase
the
accuracy.
accuracy up
Mm-hmm.
champion, especially if you can only use a C1 there. And then if you got like Mafala and a Queen and Cora both in your teams with high resistance,
Yeah.
or Mafala in a four-piece immunity,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
then you can just cleanse it off, right? If they're the fastest champions in your comp,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
which would work very well.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen a few people building that Gizmac right now because you can counter the bombs then, and also you won't get
But
as
you
much.
cut out there for a second. Which champion was it you said there? Was it Gizmac?
Gizmac, yeah.
Okay, Gizmac. Right.
People are building that Gizmac in 6-piece Feroid set because it ignores sheep right 50%.
Mm-hmm. Okay, yeah, yeah. So we can
And then
fix
it
the
puts
turn.
immunity up as well, and then they're quite fast. And he also
Okay.
deals their stone skin as well. So it's a
Yeah,
really good
yeah.
counter to that.
Interesting.
So he's a problem for sure.
Cool. Okay.
Mm.
You mentioned resistance. How much resistance would you recommend, like let's say a gold 4 player build and versus a silver live arena player? What sort of resistance are you looking for in the accounts that you're playing?
Most accounts in silver can't build resistance.
Okay.
And that's just being honest because like the great halls are low.
Yeah.
Resistance is normally done like last. It's low level blessings that doesn't go against you as well.
Mm.
Most people who are using bombs in silver would be like 500, and most people using bombs on the high end of gold 4
Yeah.
are like 800 accuracy, which
Okay.
is very tough to kind of deal
Yeah.
with,
So you're looking
even
at
for my
900
account.
plus resistance.
Yeah.
That's rough. Yeah.
So yeah, gold 4 I think you need like 850 like minimum.
Okay. Yeah.
Which without a level 5 blessing, really difficult.
Mm-hmm.
Right,
Mm-hmm.
it's very difficult, especially if you're trying to get the stats as well.
Mm-hmm.
And building high resistance now isn't so attainable with more Nuka's stone skin because they're getting more squishy.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think high resistance is going to be the key,
Yeah. Yeah.
especially with all these new toys coming out with the new clan boss as well.
That's true. That's true
That's
for sure.
hurting
Yeah, that's
more.
gonna just gonna change up everything for sure.
Yeah,
So,
for sure.
like, definitely though, having a cleanser. So we mentioned Ancora. She was a fusion. A lot of people would have her. That's that 4 stone skin plus 4-piece immunity, feral,
Hmm.
untouchable. Something gives you block debuffs. And then if she's your fastest champion, they try to bomb you. You've banned away her buff strip. Well, they
Hmm.
can bomb your team, but she can just cleanse. I mean, she might be a little risky because she doesn't have maybe like Elva or something. If that you might be using her for the new boss, someone that could cleanse and put up block debuffs, and it's
Hmm.
like their bomb
Yeah.
can't do anything, right? If they can't cleanse that immunity set from the start. Again, immunity
Well,
set something that was the meta way
yeah.
back when. Stones can really replace it. Now we're seeing it come back, especially
Hmm.
with stone skin accessories, right?
Yeah.
Cool. Okay.
It is worth noting as well, like you've actually got the piggy 6-star blessing. So
Uh,
you
who's the, Uko?
by
Yes, Uko. Right,
yeah.
right.
So you've got them in 9-piece fold already, right? Or 6-piece.
So I think I've stolen some gear. I think I was using him in Hydra, and now I've replaced him. So yeah, he could be in anything. What would we think for
Yeah.
him?
So you can actually use him against bombs as well. Put him in
Okay.
a immunity set. Put him
Mm-hmm.
in so he has a chance of not getting sheeped, high resistance, a little bit of good accuracy, and then his revive is really good because it brings
Block damage,
like
right? Yeah.
block damage as that tree, so that makes it difficult. And then you can take like lightning cage to kind of make it a lot harder.
Okay.
Um,
I like it.
another
I
thing
like it.
yeah, another thing you could do is go 4-piece immunity and then stone skin as well on him
Okay. Okay.
with lightning cage,
Mm-hmm.
which will then have a 50% chance of removing the stone skin plus lightning cage plus immunity. That's a lot of RNG.
Yeah. Right.
Um,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
and then if you take Sifi as well with him,
mm-hmm.
then
Mm-hmm.
that can really help you as well.
That's
So that's
cool.
definitely
Yeah.
something.
Okay. He was the champion I was going to ask you about. Like,
Mhm.
would he be worth bringing in? Especially he is a speed aura champion, and they're really
Yep.
important too. That's cool. Yeah, and the revive is, the block damage can be really, really clutch.
So you
Interesting.
take him in Hedgie, and
Hmm.
let's say you have like a champion like Mariska, which mean you don't have,
Yeah, I don't have
then it's
Mariska. Yeah.
then you talk in good stuff for the bomb for anti-bomb
Yeah.
teams.
Mariska, she's the easiest bomb counter, isn't she? Just gives everyone block damage. Job done.
Well, actually, I could show you a couple of screenshots of me countering her with bombs.
Ooh, interesting. What do you do
So
real quick?
I build Nishek faster. He lands the bombs on a one turn
And then you
on
strip
from
him.
A2, and
Mm.
then I strip him with Dark Smiles as first form on
Ooh, sneaky.
A2, and then when they revive, I flip around with Dark Smiles and then bomb him again, and his bombs are instant.
Okay.
So
Yeah,
it's
nasty.
because he gets turn meter as well from the A2.
Oh
I think
yeah,
he
he
steals
does.
turn meter. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
he's like sort of mini Arman's buff strip,
Yeah,
block active skills, turn
he's
meter.
pretty nuts. He's pretty
Yeah.
nuts. Even A3 is amazing
Yeah,
in
he's
the right
disgusting.
conditions.
Like I said, half the time I just have to ban this guy. It's really depressing, right? When they've picked their first four champions and it's all like 6-star mythicals and legendaries and powered and everything, and you're like,
Mhm.
okay, I'd love to ban all of these, and then their last pick is just a +0, no blessing, dark smiles, and like, okay, I gotta ban him. Great, all
Yeah,
right, I'm screwed.
Com-
I'm dead.
yeah. Commonest is he's top five right now
Yeah,
in this
yeah, yeah,
meta.
yeah. He's super.
It's disgusting.
Mm. Okay, let's talk about. We've talked a bit about bombs. Let's talk about speed, building speed teams. Who is that viable for? What are the core things to do? Like, what champs am I looking at for? Like, again,
So
me or a
so
typical player?
for your account right now, uh,
Yes.
using speed champions, you want high level blessings. So
Yeah.
for example, you want a couple of like CC champions built
Mm-hmm.
um
I've got
for your teams.
I've got Arman's pretty fast at supersonic. Not super fast, but okay.
Uh,
I feel like I'm
what's
generally
the
going to be
speed?
too slow. He's only like 360 in supersonic.
Yeah,
Um,
your accuracy is a bit high as well, so you could drop the accuracy, bring the speed up
600.
maybe.
Okay. Yeah, drop
Yeah,
that to 500, try go a bit faster. Okay, okay.
because for example, you'll see if you'll start outrun him. I think it's like 40 speed difference.
Yeah, Sifi's 410. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah,
so
yeah.
most that's a very slow CP for Goldfall.
Yeah, okay.
Um,
That's fast for
but
me. That's depressing, isn't it?
it's worth noting as well. Like if you take
Mm.
Sifi, Arbiter are like the mainly two picked
Yes, yes.
champions as speed champions. So
Yes.
if you pick them, people can't use them against you.
Exactly. Yeah.
And it's also worth noting Sifi has a lot of hard counters in the meta right now,
Yeah. Yeah,
which
she
is
does.
again Armad's Sonic,
Mhm.
Yumiko in Temple of Chains level 5 or 6,
Yeah.
Warlord as well. Especially if there's Odin on the team, I do that already on a different account.
Yeah.
I go for her, and then I just like pretty much GG
Mm.
for me there.
Yeah.
Um, you got Lazarus, like you got a 5-star blessing on him.
Yeah. You were saying
You have
before
a
we started recording that he
yeah,
could be worth actually building as a speed champion. I've got him built like for he's 300 speed and he's built for damage right now. But you were saying he could be better for me. He's got a 5-star blessing and a speed aura to build him
yeah,
as a pure speed.
and it's worth noting you've got a lot of good magic neuters already. Like you got
Do
Frowny,
yeah.
you have
Hmm.
Rotos, who's available.
Yeah, yeah, he's got shit
Um,
gear, but he's there. We've got
yeah,
He-Man as well, and I can get the soul.
He-Man.
Um,
Yep, He-Man is definitely someone that you'll use a lot.
hmm.
I reckon, like, to be fair, He-Man, Marius,
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Narcissus should be like your main three, as well as Frowny.
Yeah, makes sense. Makes sense.
Main
Yeah.
four nukers for sure.
Yeah, and I've got I've got
Um,
I've got a lot of nukers, Carnage, Lazarius, probably too many, right?
yeah,
But yeah, cool.
and
And I've
also
got
you're
some
up to
bombs.
blessings really low.
Yeah, so this is I've got a major problem with my Arbiter. A couple of major problems. Number one, she's only 2-star, which is rough, right? Because
Hmm.
again, if you're going into a speed race, especially in Go 4, and this is something for I think players at all levels to consider, the impact of intimidating presence. I think again, before the speed meta, this wasn't considered maybe as important, but now it is so strong. Like when you're going up
Hmm.
against champions with strong speed auras, pushing them back by 20%, boosting yours up can make a massive difference. And speed, it's
Yeah,
often who goes first if you're doing a speed race.
yeah.
Um, intimidating
That's
presence is
why.
massive.
Yeah, that's why He-Man right now. If anyone's trying to win a speed race with a
Right.
low with a low arbiter like that, and bearing in mind it's got increased attack,
Yeah,
you can
self.
take Lazarus,
Mm-hmm.
and then you could benefit from Lazarus way more in your
Yes.
fights, and then
True.
you don't have
Yeah,
to
he'd
worry
be
about
better.
taking arbiter.
Yeah, yeah.
So
One problem I've got,
yeah.
obviously Lazarus, there's no faction guardians, but Arbiter, I don't. She's super slow, man. She's 376.
Hmm.
I don't have faction guardians for high elves done. I was looking at my roster and I was thinking, okay, who could be my other speed boost champions? Like Arbiter is ideal because, as you said, that's a champ people will take against you a lot. But I
Yeah.
don't have the faction guardians done. She's got no blessing. I was like, I've got Aestrid. I see her a bit as like an Arbiter esque champion for speed. Oh, I've got a 5-star for her. I also don't have the faction guardians done there, so it's -10.
Yeah.
I pull the Lady Kimmy, no faction guardians, so -10 and no 0 stars. I'm like, it's that's a tricky thing when you're going up in goal 4 when
Mm.
players you're fighting against not only do they have usually the faction guardian done, but they probably have some better gear than me. And again, there's a decent chunk of players that, of course, are going to be having better champs
Yeah.
and the 6-star. Like that's rough. Like when I go into a draft and they whip out the old like 6-star +2 Shuzen. I'm like, oh no, man. Temporal Chain 6-star Shuzen. I'm dead. I can't like that's rough.
It's it's worth noting when you see a Shazam, like you're gonna see bombs, or
Yeah, right.
my advice is probably counter her, because
Okay.
Maris is actually a low key counter to her
Yeah, yeah,
for the
yeah.
E3.
Yes, because he
Sometimes people don't
counterattacks.
take Stone Skin, and then you just enfeeble them. It's amazing.
Yeah.
Um, and then you can use UDK against like a handful of Stone Skin nukers.
Mm-hmm.
So like when I see her generally on my account, I start thinking, okay, I'm gonna go second here, drop in the UDK,
Yeah.
counter the ignore Stone Skin nukers.
Mm-hmm.
You could build like a high resist Queen and Cora, or a Queen and Cora
Yeah.
in immunity, which would really help you.
Mm.
Narcissus,
Yeah. Let me
like
put that in
Odin.
as Ancora as what would you recommend that for me? Or who would you recommend it for? Ancora, like high resist or
I think
immunity?
I
Is
think
that worth?
with I think with like the way that meta's shifting right now, I think immunity is the best way to go.
Okay, like I've got mine super tanky in 6p stone skin. She's like 140k HP, but like
So
bombs will
you
still kill her, you know? Like she'll just
yeah,
die. But
you could just do the same like
okay,
this,
yeah,
but
but
make her
4p
faster.
immunity.
You need to be like 300 speed.
Okay, faster. Okay, okay,
So 300 speed, and then maybe go some stone skin and immunity, or just go immunity and reaction.
okay, okay. I will look
So
into
if
that.
they swap it up with like ignore stone skin champions or
Hmm.
something like that, reactions a big problem for them.
Hmm.
You know.
Yeah, for sure.
So
I want to touch on because it was again we were chatting a couple of days ago arranging this Ultimate Death Knight actually been amazing against Odin. That was something I hadn't
yes,
stupid because it's really obvious when I was like, yeah, of course, once you said it.
yeah,
But I've used him now a couple of times against Odin, and it's great because often people can, and when they're drafting with Odin, they pick him as like their damage plus only one other damage dealer, and a high resist UDK. Odin just can't get past him for a
yeah.
long time.
I do the same on like one of
Mm,
the accounts I use in Gold 4. I
yeah,
just use Odin as like a hybrid, because
yeah.
he doesn't require Savage.
Hmm.
So to have a nuker available for the meta right now to need to ignore defense kit is really powerful. But
Hmm.
like it's worth noticing, like when I see Odin dropped in, and normally Odin is dropped in within the first 3 picks.
Yeah, he's
The
very
chances
yeah.
that the chances that I'll run in Odin, especially in Gold 4 arenas, very slim.
Yeah, that aura is just
Um,
nuts,
yeah.
right?
So you could do like many things, kind of counter him, can't sheep time his point.
Pinpoint, yeah.
So what you do is like I go like Queen and Cora Narcissus. Narcissus can't get stunned
Yeah.
if he has the highest crit damage.
Mm-hmm.
So it's worth noting that you need your Narcissus to have the highest crit damage out of everyone.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And then if you can keep like Lightning Cage on him as well, Narcissus, then the chances of keeping Stone Skin
Mm-hmm.
is going to be good. You
Okay.
want generally him to be minimum like 250 speed, but if you can get him up a bit higher, that will help you.
Okay. Right now,
And
mine is 255,
yeah,
317 crit damage.
it's also worth noting as well, if you take the UDK, that opens
Yep.
up your Rotos,
Yeah, that's true. The Rotos. Yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah.
And then Rotos
Mm-hmm.
also is very good against him.
Mm-hmm.
He's in a 6p, easier than 9p.
Sorry, you've just cut out there. I've lost what you were saying.
So I can see that you've got him in 9-piece
got
merciless.
got him an 8 piece, baby. I don't have
Yeah.
I don't have
Oh,
the
eight
ring.
piece.
We're waiting on the ring.
Oh,
And he's honestly
um,
the merciless is not great. But I was just like, could I build him in 9 piece? And I threw it on while
I
I
think
free regearing.
personally
And
mine's is 6-piece, like
yeah,
six
I should
piece,
drop him to that and get better
and
stats.
then
But yeah.
yeah, then he's still really good against lockout because of the
Yeah.
cooldowns.
Right, right,
Plus
right.
cycle of violence is really nice, and then you
Yeah.
can put reaction on him as well,
I think I do
right?
have yeah, I do have Cyclophyte.
Yeah.
Reaction. Yeah,
So
that would be good. Yeah, and 6 piece merciless and 3 piece reaction. I could definitely look
yeah,
into it. Maybe
and
2 piece.
you
I've
can
got look
ignore.
at this ring. Look at this ring. That HB with a quad roll attack. I'm like, oh,
Yeah, it's amazing, and it's got
oh,
HP on it as well.
oh, it's disgusting,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
That's like the best
You,
ring on my
you,
account. And then it's like 9 piece merciless Rotos is the best now. I'm like, no, but that ring though. Who else will use this ring? Yeah, I'll switch him into maybe double reaction if I
yeah.
can, and 6 piece mercy. Okay,
And
I will try that.
it's worth noting though, like you can't use merciless on a lot of champions in this
Yeah.
meta,
Mm-hmm.
especially, and you get it so easily. So
Yeah.
why not try and get like full utility? Like Rotos is great for that.
Mm-hmm.
Hedgie is good for that. There isn't many that would do that. Like I noticed your He-Man's in
Yeah,
merciless.
kind of like it, but yeah, you
Yeah,
think it's too risky? Go Stone Skin instead.
it's too risky unless you can speed. If you can speed tune him
Mm-hmm.
with your speed teams, then leave him in it
Yeah.
because you can ban one reviver and then block the other,
Well, I tell
and
you
it's
what,
pretty much
what
night night.
I could do. You were saying I could switch Lazarius into speed. I could then
Mhm.
be putting the Lazarius gear onto He-Man, for instance, and picking up that. In fact, that's a conversation, a couple of conversations about blessings. You mentioned He-Man. We were chatting about this before because this has just gone live in game. This video will probably be out tomorrow or something. But
Mm,
obviously, we've got the He-Man soul. I think I haven't read the comments on the video yet. I'm expecting people to not be interested in this event at all. But you were saying to me, dude, for you, grabbing that He-Man soul could be massive, right? Because,
yeah,
and again, I think that's how I might look at it as well. It's like, yeah, like that's the 8 sacred shards worth of points right there. But then again, a 5 star, even though that one level of soul is such a small thing, that could be an active benefit that could change some live arena fights for me. And it's kind of hard with 8 sacred shards, which sounds like a lot, but even still, 8 sacred shards, tough to make that actually change live arena fights for an endgame account. But a small
mm.
soul like this can do it, which is why, even though it's crazy expensive for most players, it can still be worth the price for an endgame player because the impact.
Any yeah, anyone that's free to play
Yeah.
and lucky to get He-Man,
Hmm.
or anyone that is a very low spender like me
Yeah.
or you, for example,
Yeah.
you should definitely be pushing for that 5 star because
Okay. Yeah.
just gold essence is like super expensive.
Yeah, right. I know, I know.
So
You know,
you kind of want to do something with that.
you know, the fun thing with the gold essence, I spent my first 300 on Nekmothar for Hydra. And I was like, this
Ooh.
is great. And then things went further, and he's not even in my Hydra teams anymore. And I've been like, God, what a waste. Now he's back in Chimera. So I'm like, yes, the Nekmothar investment has
Mm,
come back around. It's not the worst thing. But I think that was even before Live Arena came out, maybe, or I don't know, or I wasn't really too into Live Arena. So I was like,
yeah.
I'm more into Hydra. It'll be more useful. I think it's
Hmm.
a thing a lot of players had. Like I remember chatting to Boozor, and I think, spent his first. He's like, I'll get 6 star Duchess. It's a no brainer. And then like nowadays, Duchess, she's still great, and obviously it's fantastic, but not as strong as some other like the newer
Yeah.
champs like Armans and
I
stuff
did
like.
Dutches as well. I took her from
Ah,
all the way from level 1 to 6.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
And
Do you regret it, or is it? How's that feel now?
no, I still use her
Feel good.
times.
Yeah,
She
yeah.
has increased attack and
True.
she looks very good right now. So I'll
But
towards that.
you were cutting out there. What do you say she was good for? Chimera, I'm guessing.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
she's very
yeah.
good for that.
She helps you
So
lots
I
of
could use
trials.
that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Sure.
and then I could maybe well I've got the Demon Spawn
Mm-hmm.
Unity
Mm-hmm.
the other day. I haven't built him yet,
Ooh,
so
nice. Grass. That's big.
he
Yeah,
opens up something for Siege and for
absolutely.
Live Arena for sure.
He's really strong in live. Like I often, I pick up C, and I'm gonna be picking a CP 6 star soul up whenever it shows up in the shop. I've got the red essence, so CP's a super high priority pick for me in live
Hmm.
arena. And yeah, Volcanos, this passive, he's like, whoa, that's nasty. So yeah, he's
Yeah,
a really cool counter pick that people can use. Yeah,
yeah.
congrats,
I
that's
don't know
great.
how to fit him into Live Arena yet
Yeah,
because
yeah,
of the
it takes time.
Unity stuff. So
Right.
and
That just
and
helps for sure.
yeah,
um,
for sure as well. It's worth noticing when I'm looking at accounts and I'm building nukas,
yeah, yeah.
blessings is something that I'm judging on.
Yeah, I was actually going
So,
to ask you right now. Blessings. I heard
mhm.
you mention Narcy's Lightning Cage or something. Quick glance, these are the main arena champs I have with Blessings. Any glaring, stupid mistakes, any obvious changes, and what blessings should
uh,
people generally be looking out for right now?
I think right now it's just. I
With the
guess it's just your Narcissus right now, and
yeah.
maybe Marius.
Okay, yeah. I only just got that. He's only
Um,
1 star, so I've got the free change. I could change it. So
yeah,
Narcy's Lightning Cage, because it goes
yeah,
second,
Lightning Cage
stone
because of the
skin.
stone skin.
Let's do that right now. Let's
Um,
do it. Boom.
and
Done.
then you use Sifi a lot with him, right? So that block
Yeah.
boss can
A
be
bit.
huge.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay.
Um, so there is that. Then
E-Man, if you
with
got 5 star, probably like intimidating presence. Say.
yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Once you get the 5-star blessing with
I'll
him,
wait to get that, but yeah, presuming I get it,
because
I'll
then
switch him on
you can
Wednesday.
change your Rab to 1 to like Harvest, for example.
Oh yeah, yeah. That yeah, cool.
Harvest is because you already got the
Mm-hmm.
the um the flag on He-Man,
Yeah, yeah,
you
yeah.
can use like Life Harvest, right, and just destroy that max HP, which is pretty useful.
Yeah,
And
I
then
might wait till I get a 3 star and then switch.
yeah,
Maybe no, no, save the gems at 2 star, but worth bearing in mind
yeah.
in the future. Okay.
I really like who is actually underrated right now, and
Yep.
you've got him, and I don't have him.
Okay.
Morty Macab.
Yo, dude. Okay, I've got him. I've got him only the 1 star, but yeah, I'm ready. And wait, wait,
Yeah.
wait. If you're jealous about having the more two, again, like I haven't empowered any champion yet in the game. I've got frickin' oh wait, you can't really see it here. I've got 4 more twos. So when I get another
Yeah.
demon spawn, I can +2 my more two, no problem. And I've actually 2 of them built. If I get more demon spawn, I could probably sacrifice the second one and have him +3 or 4 eventually.
It's worth noting that the only time you're going to bring him into your teams is when they pick Marius.
Yeah, yeah, that's what I've heard. He's a good Marius counter
Yeah,
because
he's caught me a few times, and he doesn't need no box.
right, yeah, yeah, you just
Lightning,
do the basic, yeah,
yeah, and
secret
then
skill,
Lightning Cage for blessing again for
lightning
6 piece
cage.
stone skin
Yeah, 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 yeah.
because you're going to use him against Marius, and this is lethal against.
Right, just stop
So
Marius stripping the stone skin, otherwise you
yeah,
can just die. Yeah, for sure, for sure. Okay, cool. But other than that, my blessings are reasonably okay. So the main things to
yeah,
look for, a couple of themes. I'm clearly seeing Lightning Cage for go second, really
hmm
powerful, protect your buffs, intimidating presence, the highest blessings you can on your account for speed
mm,
seems really
yeah.
important.
It's
Yeah.
it's worth noting like anyone that's go second as well. Like
Hmm.
polymorph is still powerful, but it's
Yeah.
only powerful really if you're running like multiple 6 stars.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Um, one thing you could actually do, which not many people do it,
Hmm.
is use your Umicron
Yeah.
in Stone Skin,
Oh.
right?
Okay.
And you can use her in a go second team against Armads.
Oh. Okay.
So, so the trick is if you put her in Stone Skin,
Hmm.
if they would like a Sifi there, then if you go 4 piece Stone Skin, she
Yeah.
can't get Termi to drop right, Armads, and she
Yeah.
can't get sheeped because of the veil.
Oh, does that
Because
stop?
you can't target. Yeah, you can't
Oh yeah,
target.
you can't target her. I think. Oh
And
yeah.
then you can also use the hex. You can you can also then use the hex to reverse any stuns or
Yeah. Yeah.
um,
Interesting.
sheep that he's going to do in future. Most of the time when they go like them kind of teams, they don't take a cleanser, right? So it's pretty
Yeah.
amazing.
Interesting. I like it.
So loads of people don't know about that yet right now, but it's
Mm,
what like a lot of the top players would use in before like more mythicals were added into the meta.
cool.
So
That's
you
a
just
sneaky
go
trick.
like high accuracy, high speeds.
Hmm.
Maybe remove that blessing because it's only level 4 and it's level 3 in it.
She's only level 3. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, so that
There's
blessing's good, but
not much
it's
else to
only
put.
gonna be
Yeah. What could we run on her instead? Polymorph? Or?
yeah, I'd probably just run polymorph if she's gonna go second.
Right. Right.
It's very good blessing, but it's 5 or 6,
Okay.
right?
Yeah.
And like you said in your video today, like
Mm.
trying to invest in champions with blessings is very difficult.
Yeah.
So UDK as well is a good substitute for polymorph as well, just
Hmm.
to kind of add some RNG to your level.
Hmm.
He's in high resistance, so lightning
Yeah.
cage not really kind of needed.
Yeah, he's got 750
Uh,
resist. I think I can upgrade his chest and his banner with whatever the stuff, and he'd probably be around 800. I think it's as high as I
yeah,
can go right now.
yeah.
If we had the 5 star, I could get potentially if I wanted. That could be another 5, isn't it?
I don't think it's worth getting a 5 star with how
Yeah, I
much you
wouldn't.
got to work already.
Yeah. I'm not. I wouldn't waste my
Um,
red essence. I've got so many champs to put to 6 star. I'm like, yo, no, we're good.
yeah,
I'm good for about 4 years and then they'll all be power crept. So I'll have another 4 years worth of champs to do instead.
yeah.
I was gonna. So Sifi is my next 6 star. I guess it'll be a final thing for Sifi when
hmm
she hits 6 star. She's life harvest right now, which is fine. What would you think from like temporal chains or polymorph are probably the two most common I see on
Um,
Sifis? What's your
I
thought
mean,
on that?
honestly, for like speed teams, polymorph on CP is kind of meh because she's gonna go first,
Go first
and then
anyway.
they should be finished.
Hmm.
So I guess you could take the flag for now because you're not gonna have anyone else.
Yeah, she would be my only 6 star. Apart
Yeah.
from I've got
So
Shazar in 6 star, which is a bit of fun. But yeah,
yeah, I mean, you can use him in certain fights.
I do
Like
sometimes. Yeah,
when Affinity is good, like he's
right.
a good champion to kind of throw in there towards the back end.
Yeah.
Like if you've seen a Queen and Corey, you're not gonna
Yeah,
use a
exactly. Yeah,
weak
yeah,
Affinity if he doesn't crit. I use him time to time as well. Funny
yeah.
enough, I can empower him to +2 once I got another champion and guard actions.
Ooh, that'd be nice. Yeah,
Um,
I find him good.
yeah, so
He is a little tricky because probably the most common force champion is probably Galathier. I'm always too scared to run bombs against Galathier because he's gonna have so much resistance potentially.
yeah, it
Um,
depends on how the Gallifrey is built. If you see a
yeah,
Gallifrey, I wouldn't take bombs. I
yeah,
would
yeah, yeah, yeah.
because if they're throwing in Mariska as well,
Right, yeah. Mariska's is
it's
like
pretty
you're
much
screwed. So,
it's game over. I've made that
100%.
mistake before, and like when I was learning with bombs and stuff.
Right.
Um, but it's worth noting, like you just need to give yourself some more time in gold,
Yeah.
for it is a different game.
Oh,
You know,
100%.
you're playing the best players in the world, and
Right. I mean,
once you can nail down like four strategy,
yeah,
you
full
know,
strats. Yeah. I mean, for me,
um,
I think coming up to goal 4, like I think I was on a roll. Like I was on like 80-90% win rate for like my last 20 or 30 fights. I was like, man, this is amazing. I actually was surprised by the luck. And then got into goal 4 and I think, won the first 3 or 4. I was like, oh, this is not so bad. And then I got smashed like 5 in a row or something, demoted. I was like, okay, cool.
yeah,
And I've been
yeah,
hovering probably, to be honest, probably around like 40% win rate, I would say, probably overall in goal 4. Like
mm,
I've been in goal 4 for maybe a week and I'm only like 3, 8, 6, like I've barely moved at all. Like it's
you,
barely negative.
yeah. I mean,
It's
your
rough.
points
It's
are
a different game, like you said.
yeah,
Totally
your
different ballgame.
points are not gonna. To be honest, if you're just doing 10 a day, your points are not gonna go up a lot.
Yeah. I mean,
Um,
half the days only do one, to be
yeah,
honest. So yeah,
just just
yeah.
target the 50%,
Yeah.
and like you open up. I've watched, like I've been a couple of your streams, obviously you know
Mm.
that I always come and say hello,
Yeah.
and um I noticed that you open up with CV Maris, which is very good. Like you
Yeah.
open it up correctly, which opens you for opens up your account for speed
Speed.
and go second.
Yeah.
So what you could do, if like for example, um you can open up with CV Marius,
Mm-hmm.
right? Because Marius is very powerful.
Yeah.
And then you can then go Queen and Cora
Narcissus.
Narcissus
Yeah.
because that gives you like anti-lockout team,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
right? And then you can drop in a UDK towards the back end, kind of stop you dealing with champions like Rotos,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
etc.
Yeah.
Or you can just swap into Lazarus and
Mm.
CC champion.
Mm-hmm.
Make sure you speed tuned, of course.
Yeah. I was gonna ask what speed
Um,
would you suggest? You were saying I could build Azarius fast. What speed would you be aiming for that to be
much
viable?
much speed as possible for sure.
Okay.
Like
Yeah.
should be his main priority.
Yeah.
Um,
Okay.
one day you might get a 6 star, and
That'd
then
be
that's 20
lovely.
speed extra.
20
You
speed is
know.
big. Yeah. Cool.
Um, so I would say at least if he's speed tuned. So what I would do is speed tune your Sifi with Lazarius and Armads to make sure if you take them free in a speed race, like you say, you get Armads first,
Yeah.
and then um you can take Sifi Lazarius,
Mm-hmm.
and then you can take like two Nukas. So then you can go, okay, do I go Hegemon with the ignore defense
Mm, mm, mm.
because he's got his increased attack, so you don't need the.
Yeah.
Then you think, okay, maybe I'll take the
Sorry,
Stone
you've
Skin,
cut out there. What was that? You take the
the take the Frowny because
Oh
he's in
yeah.
Stone Skin, hits hard,
Right, right, right.
or they didn't take Marius, for example. You got
Mm.
lucky. It just happens sometimes that they don't have Marius.
Yeah, I've been picking him later because I've put him in 9-piece Slayer, trying that out at the start. I only just got Marius. It's
Mm,
tricky to pick him in Arena because he could just get one shot, you know?
yeah, he's actually quite squishy.
Yeah, yeah,
You'll
he
be
is squishy.
surprised.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
He's got a little bit tankier now thanks to that 1-star blessing. I was like, okay, whew, he won't fall over at a stiff breeze, but he's pretty squishy. I've got him
yeah.
289. He's a good speed. Um,
So one stage with Marius, which I found, which was quite useful, speed teams,
yeah.
is I put mine in 6P Slayer,
Hmm.
around about 6,600 defense,
Hmm.
with about 250 critical damage,
Okay.
and then I think it was around about 350 speed, sorry, accuracy.
Oh, I
With
was gonna say, whoa, boy,
yeah,
350
I did.
speed.
Yeah, I did get him up to 331 because what I was
Wow.
doing was using the increased defense and accuracy, and then I would A1 and then bomb
Okay. That's
because what I would do is I don't want to break the stone skin
mm-hmm.
with Marius, but
Yeah,
then
right.
you can also get the increased accuracy,
Mm,
and sometimes when you
sneaky.
do something different in arena, that
Yeah.
throws people off, right?
Yeah, yeah. It's like you were
So
saying with Hegemon earlier, right? It's just throwing
yeah,
in the wild card to just surprise people. Yeah.
yeah, and then I also used to use that with Carnage as well. It's really
Oh yeah. I love Carnage,
because
man. He's great.
I also had my Carnage at like 300 speed. It worked really well. I changed it now because
Okay.
again going towards go second, and I want
Mm.
to try it, but I'm actually thinking about changing it back
Yeah, I've got mine at
because
255 and it's good, but I'm
yeah,
like, well, what if I did put him at 300? Because he's got plenty. I don't have a blessing yet either. He's got plenty of
mm,
damage though. I never feel like Carnage is lacking damage for me,
mm,
even without a blessing. So I'm like, definitely when I get the blessing, just dropping keeping him at these damage stats and just putting all those stats into speed. With the
yeah,
blessing
and
instead seems juicy.
it's yeah, it's worth noting as well. You're guaranteed the 6-star at some point,
Eventually, yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm a
right?
long
So
way
that's
off.
when
I
yeah,
just got the portrait. I'm so slow, man. I'm super
yeah,
slow doing Marius and Curse City.
yeah,
I'm better with Chimera, and that's part of why Marius and the Slayer for now as well. Trying that the 9
hmm,
piece. It's like
yeah,
Chimera is hopefully gonna go pretty well, and that's gonna totally change up the meta, and everybody's
hmm,
crazy. Like frickin' Arman's with that whatever that's so busted, dude. I saw a video
yeah,
from Bronco on that. Oh my god, did you see that with the chrono cube?
yeah.
Oh
I
my,
did, yeah,
oh my god, you just A3 A2. He gets full turn meter from stealing with the A2. He misses his
hmm,
turn, but cooldowns still happen. So then he comes back to his turn really fast, and he's got his A3 back again. You can have just
yeah.
everybody polymorphed. It feels it's
Yeah,
crazy.
and
Oh
it's
man.
worth noting as well. Did you see the one with anti-sheep 25%?
I think it's actually, does it go up, is it goes up to, and it goes up to
If
50%. Crazy.
it's it's end
50% to throw
it's end
everything
of
back.
you're gonna see
What?
like carnage,
Yeah.
bombs,
Mm-hmm.
so many champions now. Like to be
Yeah.
honest, this kind of maybe makes pinpoint a little bit more useless now. A
Interesting.
little
Yeah.
bit,
Yeah, yeah, because this is just
depending on what
so
champion.
good. Yeah. That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't
And
want to stop it with pinpoint. You want to reflect because it's reflect. It's not just stop.
so that
Throw it
also
back.
works against Armads as well.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
With the it's
Nuts.
like with the Ferald set, right? It only works against a blessing,
Yeah.
which is it's a little bit of a turn off
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
against why pinpoint stronger.
Mm.
But there's this really just shake up the meta. You put this on, this
Yeah.
has to go on Maris to me because Maris gets sheeped a lot.
Right,
Was
right.
that
Yeah.
A1?
Yeah. This one was also really good on Marius, because Marius, it's also crazy on Rotos as well.
Mm,
Marius, he can't have his turn meter reduced. So this
yeah,
seems like if he's full turn meter, from what I could see, this would be like, oh, he's about to have fatal damage, he's at 90% turn meter, reduce it by all of that turn meter, but then his turn meter doesn't go down, and then he takes a turn, and it's a 1 turn cooldown, so it's like back again.
I
So
think you'll see that nerfed.
yeah, I think so.
I
I
think that
think
will get nerfed.
Tyraku did a video at Rotus,
I
and
watched
like,
the same video,
and
yeah,
it's
and it
like,
was pretty evil.
it's
He
hilarious. Yeah,
literally soloed Scratch, and Scratch is a very good blood
yeah,
arena
right.
player.
I was like, what is going? So yeah, like the meta's gonna go bonkers with these, but
Yeah,
hey, at least until we get that stuff, you've given me a lot of pointers to improve my team, and hopefully been
yes.
interesting to viewers as well. Anything you want to say here before we go? I think we've covered a lot for this video.
Uh, I would say don't sleep on your monkey either.
Yeah, 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 yeah. I've got him
Get
in
him,
Merciless 6 piece right now.
yeah. He's really good in Merciless. I would say
Yeah.
change that blessing as well.
Okay, no poly.
Um, yeah.
Okay.
I think with Pinpoint, Ferald, and now that new
Poly's dead,
uh
yeah. For high
yeah,
end.
Black Poly thingy, whatever you call it. I'd still not learned the names yet, but
Yeah.
Poly's dying.
Okay.
So I think you'll see the strongest ones now will be damage stuff,
Mm-hmm.
Fall of Wrath will go second. So is it um Fallen or something? All right, the blessing.
What Soul Reap? Nature's Wrath is
No,
pretty good.
no, not
Maybe.
Nature's Wrath. It's can't remember what it's
Oh, Ward of
called.
the
No, the
Fallen. This one.
Wall of the Fallen,
Oh
that
yeah,
would be
that
quite good.
that's really
That'll get
strong, but
used way more.
I need 6 star almost, I feel. Otherwise.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
definitely would put that in your list, by the way.
Oh, it is on, yeah, he's got that. But he's only 4 star, but
And
he's got it. He's got it.
yeah, I would put it on Narcissus as well if you're not running Stone Skin.
Right, yeah,
So
yeah. If I got 6 star, we can, but right now he's Lightning Cage for the stone. Yeah.
yeah,
What, what
and
mm,
then it's just one more thing. Like a lot of people are running a lot of strip champions, if not running bomb champions.
mm-hmm.
So and strip champions are getting get more powerful now with that new blessing.
Yeah.
So my advice is Lightning Cage has just gone up in my opinion
Yeah. Okay.
for trying to keep that stone skin and etc.
What were we saying to
Yes,
switch monkey to? Actually, everyone has monkey pretty much.
it depends on how many good speed auras you've got because he's got a speed aura.
Yeah.
I
So
mean, like
intimidating
they,
presence is an option.
yeah, you could take that as option or just take a damage one, right? Like Heaven Cast,
Okay.
still pretty viable on him.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. He steals
Or
buffs
like
as well. Yeah.
yeah, and then with Marius, Soul Reaper as well is very good
Okay.
on the Marius, right? Because the A1, if he
Oh,
counter attacks
Marius.
against a mythical,
Right. Yeah. Yeah. He can kill them when they
you can
swap.
play that. Because
Mm.
it's worth noting, Cruelty is only good, and any Soul Reaper is stronger against Devil, Iron Eye, or
You've been cutting out. You're
Shogun.
breaking down specific mythicals, is it? I put him with cruelty because of just Chimera and Hydra. Really, that was all.
Yeah,
But you were saying
which is
Soul Reap is better against which?
Soul Reaper is better against Sand Devil Boss,
Oh yeah.
Phantom Shogun,
Mm.
any other like content you just can't get that little bit of it.
Extra damage. Yeah, like
And
I've
then
my Newton Soul Reaper, and same
yeah,
concept, isn't it? Yeah, yeah.
yeah. So for me, like that's the better blessing to take. And
Okay.
Soul Reaper is probably one of the weaker ones, but he has his spot now with Maris, which is good to see.
All right. Will I
You know.
swap him right now? Ditch the cruelty, go Soul Reap.
Yeah, you can swap him. I would probably say go towards like Stone Skin build on him if you can, or
Okay.
try
Yeah.
and build the build that I spoke about.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. Yeah. I might like I said, I just got Marius, so that's still very much the testing. Like, does he fit in the
mm,
teams or not? And yeah, exactly finding his spot because he's like such a S+ tier champion in so many areas of the game. It's like, ooh,
I
which
think
build gives
I
me the
think you should
most?
be building he for 99% players. You should be building around Maris.
Yeah. Yeah. Because he's
Like
that
build
good.
your whole teams around him, and that's
Okay.
why I changed with Stone Skin because then he fits in go second, and
Mm.
he fits in the speed teams more for me.
Right.
So then I got the more flexibility.
Yeah. The fact. Okay.
And you need some answers. You're gonna have some days where you're gonna do 10 fights, and 8 of them in a row. They're gonna get Armads, and it's a big advantage in this meta.
Yeah. I still first pick Armans. I was like, I tried the first pick Marius a couple of times, and I was like, what I struggled with was for me, for speed especially, Arman's is one of my fastest champs, and he's got that 5-star intimidating presence and the aura. And I was like, ugh, if I don't pick him first and they get him, I'm like, yeah, I got the Marius, but man, it feels very tough. I'm almost locking myself into go second, and then
Yeah.
the Marius for me not being in Stone Skin, it was like, this is a terrible idea. So I went back to the first pick Marius for me.
It's probably gonna change with that new relic in a couple
Yeah,
of
that relic,
weeks.
yeah.
I could see your Yumiko becoming more,
Right, yeah. I
which will
use
really
Yumiko a
surprise
lot
you.
as well. Yeah, she's great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then, like, one last thing before we wrap up the video
Hmm.
is your Gergo, right? Because I
Yeah.
noticed that you had a, is it 6-star?
I have a 5-star Gurgo.
It's five
Yeah.
star.
Yeah. So
So it's a
he's
good blessing what you got on him already. And obviously you
for
don't need to
damage. Yeah.
take, you only need to take 2 flags in your team. I call it flags because it looks like a flag.
Yeah. 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 It
Um,
is. Yeah.
but you could just use them as a strip champion, right? Because if they
Okay.
take arm as a replacement,
Sorry, say that again. It cut out for that bit.
so if they take Armad, for example, you can take
Armands.
him as,
Okay.
because he's going to bring you a speed, or he's going to bring a strip, and he's going to bring.
Yeah. 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 And CC. Okay. Yeah.
So
So I could build him like
that,
Armands 2.0. Okay.
yeah, because
Ah.
you've got Yumiko, you've got
Mm-hmm.
him, and he would
Yeah.
be better against mythical than your Yumiko.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, I should definitely do that because I haven't built for damage, but again, for me, because I've got Lazarius in the speed aura for damage, I've got the Wukong speed aura damage, He-Man as well. That's like Gurgo is great and he's void, which is nice, but I'm like, man, I've got a lot of champions actually built that are bringing or sort of filling that sort of niche, and I don't have him in
Hmm.
Stone Skin either, so I'm like, oh, it's tricky to fit him in.
Yeah, you can just go like
But yeah, speed,
a Ferald set or a pinpoint set with Stone Skin.
yeah,
Stone Skin is a bonus.
and use him for
Just
crowd
speed
control.
tune again.
Yeah,
Just
I
speed
like
tune
that.
again, and you'll be fine.
Yeah, and that would probably be really handy as well, actually, for
Yeah,
some of my tag arena teams and like siege teams and stuff. Actually
yeah.
having him, that's good shout.
And it'll throw a lot of people off as well, and it free up another.
Yeah, instincts that for someone else maybe.
You didn't know how to kind of bring him into your teams. That's a good way to bring him into your teams.
So who was that? A He-Man?
So
Did you say?
no, I said, oh, watch one of your videos
Yeah,
where you didn't know where to use him.
Gurgo. Yes, yes,
Yeah,
yeah,
I think it was your live stream.
yeah. I do find it
Uh,
difficult to fit him in. Yeah,
yeah, so that is best way to bring him in.
I
I
like
think
it.
for your account specifically.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, yeah. Like the
So
strengths and weaknesses of each account, what you need. Yeah, cool.
mhm,
Okay.
yeah,
Well, guys, again, Grim, thank you so much for joining. Guys, hope you
no
enjoyed the
worries.
video. Thumbs up if you did. You'll find Grim's channel linked down below. Again, check it out. 5 days a week. Tons of
Yeah,
live arena content. Multiple accounts as well, so you can see all different levels of play, different
mhm,
strategies. Yeah, Grim, thank you so much for jumping on.
no worries. I
And yeah,
appreciate it.
we'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.
Peace.